Happy Monday, everybody. We are back for another Monday Miracle. And this one, we are talking all about emotional regulation and really just more connection and opening up, if you will, to his family and to friends. And this is an interesting one because if you haven't seen our Monday Miracles yet, what we do is we just jump on and talk about some wins from some family members, from some kids in the office over the last week or so. And this one, this kiddo was adopted. And so there is some stress and some trauma that comes along with that, right? For a little bit of unknown of exactly what his history was. But anyway, what they had noticed is a few different things that come with that. And one of them was that when it came to kind of some sad emotions, he would really just kind of shut down, right? And we talk about that. There's kind of two really obvious sides of the nervous system where it's either gas pedal or brake pedal. What we don't always talk about is that if it gets to a point where he's really overwhelmed, right, our bodies go into shutdown mode. So we call it like gas pedal, brake pedal, and shutdown, right? And shutdown is kind of that third layer of that. And that's what this kiddo had. And so when something would not go his way, or he was told no, or things like that, he would have some big emotions, and oftentimes he would just immediately kind of shut down and not want to work through those emotions and not want to talk about them and all of that. And the other big thing that they had noticed is when he would get sick or wasn't feeling well, he really would shut down in terms of not wanting to be cared for by his parents. And so obviously, they traced a lot of that back to, some of what he had been through at a really young age. And so his parents had done some amazing work, absolutely awesome parents, and he's a really awesome kid. And we were also working on some hyperactivity. We were working on some bedwetting, stuff like that had also been improving. But I thought it was really cool that they had put that he did get sick since being under care. It was a couple weeks ago. And what they noticed is that he was more willing to rely on their help, right? He was more willing to accept their help when he was not feeling well than he had been before. And that is just an amazing thing, right? The vagus nerve, we talk about a lot. The vagus nerve is very well known for being that brake pedal or calming part of the nervous system. But what recent research has shown is that is also our social and emotional, right? And so when the nervous system is so far out of balance and dysregulated that it immediately goes into shutdown mode, there's less connection there. And we see that all the time with some of the kids in the office is the parents just start noticing like they're able to just kind of hold the conversation longer. They're able to sit at the dinner table. We have some great conversation, right? Or we had one a couple of months back that the parents were like, this was a middle schooler. She's like, she spends a lot of time in her room, but we've noticed that she's kind of coming out of her room and coming down to just hang out and watch a movie with us at night, right? And that's amazing stuff, right? And that is that connection. And so when these kiddos have all this stress stuck in their body, their brain and their body just aren't talking to each other as well. And so when we start to clear that out, that's what our adjustments do. That's what our nervous system scanning technology is able to find is, hey, where are those blockages? Where is that stress stuck in the system? Where are those subluxations? This is kind of what the chiropractic term for it is. And we help remove those, right? We help release that stress out of the system. And all of a sudden, yes, this kid is having less big emotions. He is showing a little bit less impulsivity and hyperactivity. He is having less accidents, waking up wet less often, and less frustration and able to work through those bigger emotions and those frustrating emotions a little bit. And I just thought it was really cool that he was willing to accept care as well, because we're moving that nervous system out of shutdown mode and more into a balanced state, which is absolutely a beautiful thing and obviously really, really important when it comes to growing and regulating and developing as they continue to grow. So awesome stuff. Last thing I did want to say is we do have our Perfect Storm workshop coming up on Thursday this week. Basically what we do is we go way more in depth into everything I just talked about. We talk about research. We go over research from Harvard and all these awesome research papers that have come out about the vagus nerve and how we can help. And also what we see as so many correlations of all of these kiddos when they're starting young, and some early signs to look for, things like colic and reflux and not sleeping well and constipation, kids that are constantly sick, and eventually, if left unaddressed, oftentimes we see that turn into more of these neuro challenges like ADHD, anxiety, sensory processing, the hyperactivity, the impulsivity, the frustration, all that type of stuff that we were just talking about. So happy Monday Miracle. If you are interested in attending that workshop, I will put the link below as well. Have a great rest of your week.